You're streaming CBS News Bay Area.
Right now at 9, taking a live look outside at the Bay Bridge. It is Thanksgiving Eve, Wednesday, November 26th. A lot to get to this morning as we follow stories in your community and all across the Bay Area. Thanks for being with us today. I'm Ann Magovic. Here's a look at some of our news headlines. Many of you in the South Bay felt a series of earthquakes this morning. According to the USGS, a magnitude 4.0 quake hit at 6:16 a.m. about 5 miles east of Gilroy, and at least 2 aftershocks followed just minutes later, a 2.7 and a 3.6. No reports of any damage. Breaking news overseas, at least 13 people are dead in China after a massive fire tore through several high-rise buildings. This is in Hong Kong. Search and rescue operations continue at this hour as people are still trapped in those buildings. About 700 people evacuated and are in temporary shelters. No word yet on what caused the fire. And today is another busy day of holiday travel ahead for millions of people, so you might want to give yourself some extra time. If you are taking a flight today, SFO expects to see around 6.3 million travelers through the end of the year. Give yourself a little extra time on the roadways as well. AAA says at least 73 million people are expected to drive to their destinations for the holiday. All right, let's get a check on our first alert forecast. Today is the first Spare the Air alert of the season. Meteorologist Jessica Birch has our Thanksgiving forecast.
Well, it's beautiful weather for us as we head outside today. We're talking about 60s and 50s widespread throughout the Bay for our daytime highs all throughout the Bay. It's a mild setup for us this afternoon, and that's the case as we head into the next couple days, just in time for the Thanksgiving forecast tomorrow. The best part is we're not seeing any weather delays for our Bay Area local airports, and we're not seeing any across the country either, despite the fact that yesterday, just around this time, it was places like Chicago down into Atlanta that were dealing with some stormy conditions. But back here in the Bay, let's take a look at our rain chances as we head into next week. It stays dry widespread throughout the Bay Area as we head into this weekend. A slight chance as we head all the way into next weekend's forecast. But other than that, take a look at what we can expect as we head outside today and tomorrow. Low 60s and upper 50s back and forth with each other as we head into the next couple days. We'll see sunnier conditions on tap for us tomorrow, just in time for any turkey trots going on in the early morning hours, or better yet, just that afternoon stroll after you eat your Thanksgiving lunch, if you even make it to that point. Now, Friday and Saturday is also looking beautiful for us, too, if you're hitting the roads at that point. We head over into the Bay forecast, closer to San Francisco, across the Bay Bridge over into Oakland. We're also seeing sunnier conditions just in time for Thursday. A little bit cloudier as we dive into next week. We'll keep you updated on that forecast here in the Weather Center. For now, back to you.
Now more on those earthquakes that shook some of you in the South Bay this morning. The first, according to the USGS, a magnitude 4.0 at 6:16 a.m., 5 miles east of Gilroy. That was followed by at least 2 other aftershocks just minutes later. The USGS says one of them was a magnitude 3.6 that hit at 6:20. So boom, boom, boom. The earthquakes happened along the Calaveras Fault. More than 1,000 people reported feeling them in succession from Salinas all the way north to Marin County. And some of you who felt the quake sounded off on social media. This from Paul Ziedman saying that nothing like a small earthquake to start the day. Another user, BowU19, posted this: the 4.0 earthquake woke me up in the Bay, then witnessed what's happening in my hometown, Hong Kong. Heartbreaking. Pray for the people there. Of course, he's referencing that fire that we talked about earlier. We've recently seen a string of small quakes in the East Bay along the Hayward Fault these past few months, most notably a few in Berkeley. Holiday travel is ramping up, and the TSA says they are expecting almost 18 million people at airports across the country through next Tuesday. Here in the Bay Area, SFO is expecting a rush of Thanksgiving travelers. Officials there estimate they're going to see around 6.3 million travelers through New Year's Day. That is about a 4% increase compared to last year. We sent our Veronica Macias to SFO today to see how things are looking.
We all remember hearing revenge travel after the pandemic. Well, this holiday season, we're hearing the Super Bowl of travel for the holiday season, with it being the busiest it has been within the past 15 years, according to the Federal Aviation Administration. Here at SFO, things have been very busy on Monday. Last night, things being backed up on the 101. And again, early this morning here at TSA, we have seen a lot of people, a long line, especially those early risers trying to get on those early flights. So far, FlightAware, the website tracking all the traffic at SFO, showing some 28 delays, only 2 cancellations, and people really happy about that. It's really good times at the airport, people feeling happy to reunite with family, getting home just in time to participate in all the cooking, and really some relief because all of this comes on the heels of the government shutdown. Take a listen.
I'm going to be going to see my whole family.
For today, it's about just the love for family, and I have a friend who's a relative who's gone home from the hospital, and it's just being grateful for everything we do have.
I'm gonna go to Hawaii, and I'm just gonna visit there for my grandpa's birthday.
And according to the Federal Aviation Administration, this is supposed to be the busiest holiday travel season within the past 15 years. And also the Secretary of Transportation reminding people that when they come to the airport, there's that new civility campaign telling people to ditch the pajamas, ditch the slippers. But early this morning, we caught quite a few number of people who were here dressing very comfy.
Yes, and I don't blame them one bit for airport travel. Well, if you are heading out on the road for the holidays, AAA expects 73 million people to be alongside with you, heading to their destinations. Meantime, the CHP began its maximum enforcement period at 6 o'clock tonight. That means you're going to see more officers on the road looking for drunk drivers. Last year, the CHP says they made more than 1,100 DUI arrests. A satellite from Sonoma State is set to blast into space today after several delays. Student scientists worked on the project to send a small satellite into space. It's going to gather data for a NASA mission. When it's in the Earth's upper atmosphere, the satellite is going to study interactions with solar wind in the polar regions. The students worked on it for about 5 years, and they are excited to see their work come to fruition.
I was pretty hesitant in diving deep into physics, but after I took the first semester, I started to fall in love with it.
It's a small school, so it's kind of hard to not be passionate about such a small program, so everyone here knows what they're doing. They know what they want to teach, and it's very specialized. So I do enjoy my time here.
The satellite is set to launch from Vandenberg Space Force Base in Santa Barbara County. Still ahead here on CBS News Bay Area, some stability for gig workers. A local startup is helping people in the service industry with benefits they don't normally get.
It's afforded me the ability to take care of myself, to show up better for this job.
Plus, building battle in the East Bay, why some businesses in a popular shopping area are pushing back on a plan that would create more housing.
And they wanted to build this huge thing, and it really changed the whole vibe of the area.
All throughout the Bay Area today, we are gearing up for some beautiful weather. Of course, dense fog in the early morning hours lifting as we head into this afternoon. Just around 11 a.m., that dense fog advisory will expire. We're left with partly cloudy skies. Daytime highs today sitting in the low 60s. We're seeing a similar trend as we head into our Thanksgiving forecast tomorrow, and just in time for this weekend as we're sending our families back home, or maybe we're getting back home too on the roads or the skies. We still have dry weather for us, which means no airport delays at all. It's going to be beautiful as we head into next week. Back to you.
Well, rising healthcare costs have become a key issue in American politics, and the vast majority of people in the restaurant business do not get employer health insurance. Now, as Lauren Tom shows us, one Bay Area startup is looking to fill those gaps and transform how restaurants provide their teams with the care they need.
What did we open yesterday? What did we sell yesterday?
Among dozens of carefully selected wine bottles at acclaimed Indian restaurant Copra in San Francisco, wine director Andre Signor moves through its evening ritual, restocking shelves, running through pairings, and polishing glassware. It's taken him 10 years to reach this spot in the restaurant industry, where the only certainty tends to be uncertainty.
You're paid $2.13 an hour. There are no benefits. You get what you get with a job in a restaurant is a job where you can potentially make money.
Andre's path to Copra stretched across Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Texas, states where tipped wages are low, benefits are rare, and healthcare is often out of reach. He says San Francisco is the first place where he didn't have to sacrifice his paycheck for his healthcare.
That notion of rub some dirt on it and hope it gets better type of thing, I think up until now, unless I know, my arm is broken or there's something severely wrong.
His experience isn't unique. The California Restaurant Association says 90% of restaurant workers don't receive employer health insurance, and nearly the same amount have no paid sick days, while 2/3 report working while sick.
I didn't totally appreciate, just how difficult it was for these businesses, to workers to work there and not be able to access a benefit that they're willing to give.
After 30 years in healthcare, Tracy Baldwin decided to tackle that gap head on. Her Bay Area startup Rocket Med aims to make healthcare accessible for people who keep the service economy running.
So somebody is feeling kind of cold and flu and they don't know where they can go. Maybe they have insurance, maybe they don't, maybe they're traveling. And this helps them find local, either urgent care providers where they can walk in, get same-day care, very affordable. We don't want them entering the emergency room because it's not life-threatening.
She says employees like Andre under her program are given a card that functions like a health savings account, but without the high deductible or red tape. Andre uses his for therapy, prescriptions, or an emergency fund, a buffer he says he's never had. Tracy hopes the model grows beyond restaurants and into construction and the gig economy. Anyone who may have to sacrifice their own health for their paycheck.
If we can just help a business owner, a chef owner, understand the different mechanisms to give their workforce that they really care deeply about, that's critical to their success, something that really, again, drives this incredible impact and drives retention.
For Andre, it's a protection he's not taking for granted.
It's changed the game, I would say. It's afforded me the ability to take care of myself, to show up better for this job.
Giving him a way to take care of himself as he often cares for others.
According to the Kaiser Family Foundation, more than 40% of adults in the U.S. hold some sort of medical debt. East Bay Congressman Swallwell is suing a top Trump housing official, saying that he's targeting the president's critics. Earlier this month, Bill Pulte referred Swallwell to the Justice Department for possible mortgage fraud. Swallwell argues that it was politically motivated and could hurt his new campaign for governor. He's asking the court for damages and for Pulte to withdraw the criminal referral. The Federal Housing Finance Agency did not respond to our request for a comment. Well, Berkeley is the latest Bay Area city that is looking to build up to keep up with housing demand. Leaders want to raise height limits on new buildings, and they are zeroing in on 3 popular shopping areas, sections of North Shattuck, Solano, and College Avenues. But opponents say the plan could hurt businesses and strip neighborhoods of their charm. It is an age-old debate. Kara St. Cyr has a picture.
You can just open, and then you can go, oh, do I need more of this?
Leah's watched her mother operate Fern's Garden for 8 years.
The general vibe here is it's just awesome. It's just this lovely little district.
For her family, the setup on Solano Avenue was the pull, but now she's worried that might change.
We just want things to slow down.
The city is weighing a zoning plan that would allow taller, denser housing along commercial corridors like Solano, College, and Northern Shattuck. The buildings could reach up to 9 stories high, and Neil worries that could ruin the neighborhood charm.
I've seen examples in other areas where a developer came in and had a plan and they wanted to build this huge thing, and it really changed the whole vibe of the area.
Fern's Garden is located in northern Berkeley, which has historically been untouched by upzoning.
Most of these are actually renter occupied.
That's why Theo Gordon with YIMBY Action says the proposed plan would be a welcome change.
On these commercial corridors that are extremely high value and people really want to live on, there's a lot of parking lots and empty buildings that could be developed into more housing.
Gordon says the city could provide protections to business owners like Neil while still expanding affordable housing.
Allowing new apartment buildings to be built is not going to change the character of the neighborhood. It's just going to allow, as I said before, more characters to live in the neighborhood.
This zoning proposal is part of the housing element, an 8-year plan to build more housing throughout the Bay Area. Berkeley's current goal is to build more than 8,000 units by 2031.
We want affordable housing.
Leah says she doesn't want to stop that momentum, but still, she's worried.
We just want to collaborate on how exactly that's done to still have an area that people want to be in.
And a place she can continue doing business.
Well, the City Council is still making tweaks to its plan. A final vote is not expected until next summer. A holiday tradition is coming to life in the South Bay. They are setting up for Christmas in the park at Plaza de Cesar Chavez in San Jose. It is a tradition dating back more than 45 years. And we met Rebecca here, who was decorating a memorial tree for her husband, Doug. They used to come every year with their kids, and he passed away 5 years ago. Now, every year, she tells all of their friends where Doug's tree is located, and then they send pictures when they come and visit.
It means the absolute world. He was the kindest, most wonderful person I'd ever met, and it just means the world that people still find the importance of making sure that he's remembered.
Well, Christmas in the park is a free event. They have music, lights, a train, and visits from Santa. It officially opens on Friday. Still ahead here on CBS News Bay Area, local leaders looking to Texas for ways to get people off the streets permanently.
You know, looking around, there's a lot to be inspired by here. There's a lot of good things going on.
The lessons they've learned from the Lone Star State.
We continue to keep a close eye on rain chances. As of now, we're seeing low chances as we head into the next 7 days. And just to paint that picture even better, take a look behind me. Yes, we're holding on tight to low 60s each day, but at least we're dealing with dry skies, right? That's great news for after Thanksgiving, too. If you need to get out there, stretch the legs. Of course, maybe burn off some of those calories as we dive into this weekend. As we head into early next week, we continue to see partly cloudy skies, but not a drop of rain in sight, which is a big contrast, if you think about it, compared to where we were just at last week with cold fronts sweeping through the Bay Area, bringing in rain and wind, and the week before that with an atmospheric river. That's not the case as we head into the next 7 days. Beautiful weather in store for us. We'll keep you updated on that here in the Weather Center.
Well, hope for a new community in the South Bay following a unique strategy being used right now in Texas. Santa Clara County leaders went on a field trip to tour the tiny town there, and now it could be a new chapter for people who used to live here. Over a decade, Columbus Park in San Jose was taken over by a sprawling homeless encampment home to hundreds of people who were kicked out earlier this year. Well, the park is now getting ready for a major renovation. As for the people who lived there, as Max Darrow shows us, Santa Clara County leaders are considering a brand new community where they can forge a new future.
Aside from a few remaining traces of life,
this was probably an RV site.
Columbus Park in San Jose, the once bustling, enormous homeless encampment in Santa Clara County, is now quiet, which to Ray Solnick is admittedly kind of odd.
It's gone. It's just disappeared, which feels weird.
But necessary, he says, for a new reality to take shape. The homeless advocate and CEO of Seeds of Hope Silicon Valley thinks it was the right move for the city to dismantle the encampment and begin an aggressive push to get people into temporary housing.
I feel hopeful because this is a step in the right direction. It's not safe for people to be living out on the street.
He thinks the system in place right now has plenty to offer: interim housing, supportive services, shelters, case management, and more. But these are just steps and not big solutions.
Whether it's parks or street corners, we see people living, laying down on the street. It's got to come to an end. We can do better.
So from his standpoint, it is time to try an entirely new approach. And that is why he and a delegation of more than 60 leaders from communities throughout the Bay Area spent a week in Texas, touring two unique approaches towards permanently getting people off the streets that appear to be breaking barriers One of them is called Community First.
It's unlike anything that we have today.
It's a 53-acre master-planned neighborhood in Austin, Texas, with permanent housing for people coming out of chronic homelessness. It's not designed to transition people back into society. It's designed to create a new community where people can find purpose. People can get jobs here, access services here, and build new lives here. More than 420 formerly homeless people now call this community home.
People of like-minded backgrounds who've been living out on the street can get to know each other, live together permanently, as opposed to through transitional housing or being moved around at different encampments.
Solnick is working to bring that model home. State Senator Dave Cortese was on the tour.
But we really don't have facilities like this in our area. Looking around, there's a lot to be inspired by here. There's a lot of good things going on.
He likes the idea of a centralized, community-driven approach. He left Texas feeling optimistic that the concept could work in the Bay Area.
We can do this from a cost standpoint, and we can do this in terms of the expertise that we have.
Good morning. And some living in and working with the Bay Area's homeless community share that optimism. Like Charlie, once homeless herself, who now works on case management for unhoused clients.
If it's centralized, then people feel like they belong to a community and they can help each other out and they can celebrate their successes.
And that sense of belonging and purpose, says Francis Shenguya, is something that many people living on the streets are missing.
You have to have a raison d'etre, a reason to live.
This is my sleeping bag.
He became homeless in 2017.
I had a home. I was in corporate America working well. I have 4 children.
Over the course of 8 years, he's bounced around the Central Coast and the Bay Area.
Monterey, Salinas, Livermore, California, San Jose, East Palo Alto, Gilroy, and then Mountain View.
While there is more he'd need to learn about the Community First concept, he thinks it sounds promising.
Right now, I won't go to any shelter. And you look at it, I'm not the draggy type, but I won't go to the shelters because they don't treat you right.
Solnick says Seeds of Hope has looked at over 100 parcels of land in the greater Santa Clara County area.
And within that, we've identified about 10 that we believe are viable, whether it's taking into account NIMBY, people who don't want it in my backyard, homeless advocates who don't want to push homeless people out into the corner of the city and create a slum, and environmentalists.
Though there are more hoops to jump through, Solnick is feeling encouraged.
I feel inspired.
As for his why, his drive to make a difference,
I guess like I tell my kids, when we visit someplace, let's leave it in better condition than we found it. And that applies to life too.
A simple yet powerful purpose.
Right now, Seeds of Hope is working to build 2 other communities, one in Livermore and one in Tacoma, Washington. Coming up in the next half hour here on CBS News Bay Area, a busy day on the roads and in the air. Also on trains. We're going to meet a blind couple taking to the rails for the first time this holiday.
We thought about it for a while and then we were like, okay, we're going to go on the train and see how it goes.
How they are turning their Thanksgiving trip into a major life move. And let's take another live look outside from our Mark Hopkins hotel camera at just about 9:28. We're going to have a check on our top stories and your first alert forecast when we come back.
Your community, your news, powered by KPIX. CBS News Bay Area. Watch anywhere, anytime. Stay informed and connected. Trusted local news when you want it. CBS News Bay Area. Watch free on any device. Your We're streaming CBS News Bay Area.
Thanks for staying with us this Thanksgiving Eve. I'm Ann Makovic, and here's another look at some of our news headlines right now. A series of earthquakes shook the South Bay this morning. According to the USGS, a magnitude 4.0 quake hit at 6:16 a.m. about 5 miles east of Gilroy, and at least 2 big aftershocks followed minutes later, a magnitude 2.7 and then a 3.6. No reports of any damage. A Vietnamese restaurant in the South Bay has been cleared to reopen after a viral video exposed some nasty conditions. Check it out. This video showing an employee at Faux Love slamming ribs on bare concrete outside the restaurant. Inspectors also found no sanitizer and signs of roaches. Santa Clara County closed the restaurant last week, but lifted the order after a follow-up inspection. And a man swept out to sea in Monterey County is still missing right now. Recovery teams returned to Soberanes Point Tuesday to search for 35-year-old Amon Friedkind, a U.S. Army specialist and Defense Language Institute student. He disappeared Saturday at Garapata State Park, about 8 miles south of Carmel, and officials are hoping that a calmer surf today could help speed up their search. All right, let's get another check on our first alert forecast. There is the air alert in effect today. Here's meteorologist Jessica Birch with your Thanksgiving forecast.
Well, it's beautiful weather for us as we head outside today. We're talking about 60s and 50s widespread throughout the bay for our daytime highs all throughout the bay. It's a mild setup for us this afternoon, and that's the case as we head into the next couple days, just in time for the Thanksgiving forecast tomorrow. The best part is we're not seeing any weather delays for our Bay Area local airports, and we're not seeing any across the country either, despite the fact that yesterday, just around this time, it was places like Chicago down into Atlanta that were dealing with some stormy conditions. But back here in the bay, let's take a look at our rain chances as we head into next week. It stays dry widespread throughout the Bay Area as we head into this weekend. A slight chance as we head all the way into next weekend's forecast. But other than that, take a look at what we can expect as we head outside today and tomorrow. Low 60s and upper 50s back and forth with each other as we head into the next couple days. We'll see sunnier conditions on tap for us tomorrow, just in time for any turkey trots going on in the early morning hours, or better yet, just that afternoon stroll after you eat your Thanksgiving lunch, if you even make it to that point. Now, Friday and Saturday is also looking beautiful for us, too, if you're hitting the roads at that point. We head over into the Bay forecast, closer to San Francisco, across the Bay Bridge over into Oakland. We're also seeing sunnier conditions just in time for Thursday. A little bit cloudier as we dive into next week. We'll keep you updated on that forecast here in the Weather Center. For now, back to you.
Another busy travel day, so head out early if you are flying out today. SFO recommending arriving 2 hours early for domestic flights and 3 for international. Plenty of travelers are expected to take advantage of other modes of travel as well. Amtrak predicting a record number of people will take the train this year. Our Kenny Choi tagged along with one couple navigating the travel rush at the Oakland Amtrak station. But their trip is a little different than most.
The rush is on as people try to get to Thanksgiving plans as quickly as they can. But for Armando Maravilla and his fiancée Gloria Martinez, they need a little more time. Both are blind.
I'm pretty sure it catches a lot of people off guard to see that happening.
This is their first time traveling on their own and boarding an Amtrak train.
We thought about for a while, and then we were like, okay, we're gonna go on the train and see how it goes.
It's a bit nervous for me, being blind and traveling independently, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a good experience.
More than 1.1 million customers traveled on Amtrak trains during the Thanksgiving travel period last year, a 4.2% increase from the year before. The company is expecting record-breaking numbers this year. Olivia Irvin is a spokesperson for Amtrak.
You kind of let someone else take the wheel and take you where you want to go to see a loved one, which is really nice. So you're not going through security, you're not sitting in traffic. It's a really relaxing experience, and you get to see the beautiful views of the country.
For travelers like Tariq Ansari, this will be a short ride to Sacramento.
I'm coming for 2 reasons: to see my family, but most importantly, to help make the hummus, because without me, it doesn't taste as good.
But this trip for Armando and Gloria isn't just to see family for Thanksgiving. They packed extra suitcases, sold their belongings, and are leaving the Bay Area for the Central Valley to start a new life together in Fresno.
I like it here, but you know, the whole not being able to afford it here is just it's a bit hard because it's really nice here.
Boarding train 714.
Rushing to board their train at Jack London Square Station in Oakland, they found much needed help. Assistant Conductor Jack Bray was ready to lend a hand.
Absolutely. It's the best part of this job.
Armando and Gloria may not be able to see, but their gratitude and vision for their road ahead is clear.
This is one of the best times that I've ever had in my life, really. I'm really glad I get to do this with my fiance.
We're out here doing what we want to do, travel and see family.
Armando and Gloria tell Kenny that they were able to find an apartment in Fresno, and they said it was a lot easier than finding someplace in the Bay Area. Yeah, we understand that. More delays on BART this morning. Riders at the Pleasant Hill station heading to San Francisco had to wait a little longer for their trains because there was some sort of debris on the track. But that was pretty minor compared to yesterday's chaos. Take a look at the smoke near the Civic Center station. This was from an electrical fire on the track. It was the second major meltdown for BART in just the past few days, causing long delays and people taking BART through San Francisco.
See a lot of smoke coming out from the rail. It's explosion, boom. After that, see a lot of smoke coming out.
Firefighters say it all started at around 11:30 yesterday morning. BART says an object hit the third rail and then blew an insulator there. BART also says that the damage wasn't as bad as they first thought. They said the Civic Center station was back up and running at full capacity a couple of hours later. Let's take a live look at the big board this Wednesday morning, of course, the day before Thanksgiving. And the Dow is up. If we can take a look at that. Okay, well, the Dow is up and it jumped more than 650 points just yesterday. So we'll keep an eye on that. International travelers who visit popular national parks like Yosemite will soon have to pay more to get in. Starting January 1st, foreign tourists will pay either an extra $100 entrance fee or see their annual parks pass price jump up to $250. U.S. visitors will continue to be charged $80. More than 4 million people visited Yosemite last year. The park's latest data shows about a quarter of the visitors were from outside of the U.S. The FBI launched an inquiry into the 6 Democratic lawmakers who angered President Trump with this recent video. The group, all military and CIA veterans, urged members of the armed forces to not follow any unlawful orders. Well, then, as Scott McFarland explains, the president threatened the death penalty.
I'm not backing down.
Arizona Democratic Senator Mark Kelly is one of 6 Democratic lawmakers who are now part of an escalating face-off with the Trump administration after posting a 90-second-long video last week urging military members not to follow unlawful orders they may receive.
Members of the military need to follow the law. We wanted to say that we have their backs.
Now, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has launched a probe of Kelly, a retired Navy captain, accusing him of misconduct and threatening him with a court-martial. Multiple sources tell CBS News the FBI contacted congressional leaders Monday to tell them the Bureau plans to speak with each of the 6 lawmakers.
Now they're getting a message from Kelly and from other members of Congress saying, defy your commanders. Rise up and defy your superiors. That kind of language will get people killed.
All 6 are veterans of the military or the intelligence community. One of those lawmakers, Michigan Senator Alyssa Slotkin, blasted the inquiry Tuesday, saying President Trump is attempting to use it as a scare tactic.
And the use of the FBI against us is exactly why we made the video. He believes in using the federal government against his perceived adversaries, and he's not afraid to use the arms of the government against people he disagrees with.
Military service members are not only allowed to disregard illegal orders under the Uniform Code of Military Justice, it's actually their duty to do so. Speech by Congress members is also uniquely protected in the Constitution. Coming up next, here on CBS News Bay Area, last-minute shoppers are packing the aisles to get those Thanksgiving meals ready. How the chaos at the grocery store could provide a moment to reflect on the true meaning of the holiday.
Start your day with us and open your world.
Time to open up those windows and get this day started.
The power of CBS News.
It is a historic day in news.
Taking you around the globe, across the country.
With Federal, live, and
into your community.
To the South Bay, major changes.
And Bay Area weather from a whole new perspective.
Let's head underneath this cloud layer.
CBS News Bay Area's Morning Edition. Weekdays at 6 on KPIX.
All throughout the Bay Area today, we are gearing up for some beautiful weather. Of course, dense fog in the early morning hours lifting as we head into this afternoon. Just around 11 a.m., that dense fog advisory will expire. We're left with partly cloudy skies. Daytime highs today sitting in the low 60s. We're seeing a similar trend as we head into our Thanksgiving forecast tomorrow and just in time for this weekend as we're sending our families back home, or maybe we're getting back home too on the roads or the skies. We still have dry weather for us, which means no airport delays at all. It's going to be beautiful as we head into next week. Back to you.
Well, time is running out to get your Thanksgiving fixings. Behind me is the El Cerrito Safeway. They're open and ready for business for any last-minute shoppers who need to grab those things for tomorrow's meal. Other grocery stores in the Bay Area are also very busy, as you might imagine. Berkeley Bowl seeing about 2,000 to 3,000 more customers each day this week compared to normal. Suji Nam went to one store and talked with shoppers about their holiday plans.
We have flour.
Kiana Wright is trying something new this Thanksgiving.
I'm excited to have one relative in the Bay Area, so I go to her house every Thanksgiving, and I always bring something. And this year I'm doing mac and cheese.
A new mac and cheese recipe, and she's finding all the ingredients at this busy Berkeley Bowl.
A lot of cheeses.
Wright says, ironically enough, while prepping for the holidays can get crazy, she appreciates how the holidays help her slow down and reflect.
I feel like you don't often get that amount of time to oh, how's it been? What could I do better? What did I do well? So I like that a lot.
Wright is just one of thousands of Bay Area neighbors shopping local at this independent grocery store. Chi Dixon, the marketing and communications manager for Berkeley Bowl, says they serve anywhere from 3,000 to 5,000 customers on a given day. But on the days leading up to Thanksgiving,
we'll see an increase of another 2,000 to 3,000 people per day.
Dixon adds that she appreciates her Bay Area neighbors shopping local.
We have such great relationships with our vendors and our producers, and we have our own chicken farm. So we're able to maintain our inventory and maintain the lower prices.
And this holiday, Wright is even more grateful.
I was laid off earlier this year. I was unemployed for a while. Get back into it and get a new job. So I think I'm very lucky, and I think a lot of people have a lot greater struggles than I do.
She plans to cherish her Thanksgiving with her aunt and appreciate the littlest of things, including her new mac and cheese recipe.
Well, that sounds really good. Now, if you are flying with any dishes for Thanksgiving, heads up for TSA. Most food items like baked goods, meats, and stuffing are okay, as long as it's a solid item. Of course, liquids would most likely need to be in your checked bag if you have one. So that includes things like cranberry sauce, gravy, jams, canned fruits, or veggies, because they're technically liquids. Volunteers at Martha's Kitchen are working to make sure nobody in San Jose goes to sleep hungry. They're hosting another Thanksgiving dinner this evening. Martha's Kitchen hosted their first Thanksgiving dinner last night. They say they served almost 300 people. Organization says many of their clients are homeless, and many of those coming in are just eating their first meals of the day. We heard from the executive director, Bill, who says their goal is to nourish stomachs and souls.
They get to come in and they get to be just like the rest of us for a short period of time. They get the dignity of a regular meal. They get the dignity of getting to hang out with other people. They get to be human for a short period of time.
Martha's Kitchen serves the meals on Story Road near the Happy Hollow Zoo. Well, every holiday season, CBS News Bay Area partners with our local food banks as part of our annual Food for Bay Area Families Drive. And today, we are highlighting important work of the Redwood Empire Food Bank and hearing from the CEO about how all of us can step up to help.
So people are asking this time of year, how can I help? How can I get involved? We ask that people volunteer their time. So we have shifts in the kitchen, we have distribution sites, we even have farm partnerships and at the warehouse. And so people can pack boxes, they can prepare meals and hand out groceries to people that are coming to us for help. Of course, we ask for people to give monetary donations, and for every dollar they give, we can buy $3 worth of food. No gift is too small, so some people give $2 a month and others give $1,000 a month. There really is no gift that we can't make a big impact with.
So if you would like to help, scan the QR code on your screen, or to find out how you can donate or volunteer at your local food banks, we have your information there. You can also head to our website, kpix.com/give. And join us for our holiday special airing Christmas night, inspiring stories behind the effort to feed families across the Bay Area. Coming up here on CBS News Bay Area, these little monsters might be on a lot of holiday wish lists. How a star from White Lotus helped launch the Labubu craze.
Put that positivity out there, it does multiply.
When it gets tougher, you get stronger.
Oh, thank you so much.
Continue to keep a close eye on rain chances. As of now, we're seeing low chances as we head into the next 7 days. And just to paint that picture even better, take a look behind me. Yes, we're holding on tight to low 60s each day, but at least we're dealing with dry skies, right? That's great news for after Thanksgiving, too. If you need to get out there, stretch the legs. Of course, maybe burn off some of those calories as we dive into this weekend. As we head into early next week, we continue to see partly cloudy skies, but not a drop of rain in sight, which is a big contrast, if you think about it, compared to where we were just at last week with cold fronts sweeping through the Bay Area, bringing in rain and wind, and the week before that with an atmospheric river. That's not the case as we head into the next 7 days. Beautiful weather in store for us. We'll keep you updated on that here in the Weather Center.
Well, the countdown to the 99th annual Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is on. Performers have been rehearsing songs and dance moves outside the flagship store in Manhattan. They needed umbrellas last night as a rainstorm passed through. The holiday spirit lifts off once those giant balloons start floating. This year's parade features 34 balloons, 28 floats, 11 marching bands, and several musical acts. The parade kicks off tomorrow morning down 6th Avenue. And making their grand debut in the parade this year are these guys. I still don't get it, but Labubus are still very popular. They might be on a lot of holiday wish lists this year. This summer hype might have cooled a little bit, but yeah, don't count them out. Like Cabbage Patch Kids and Beanie Babies before them, these toys could explode again this holiday season. Jeff Wagner looks into what sparked the obsession and why it might come roaring back.
Fluffy, wide-eyed, and with a toothy grin, Labubu dolls might look like nothing more than another plushy toy.
It's soy milk!
But try telling that to the millions across the world who can't wait to get their hands on one. Shua Zhang was gifted the one hanging from her purse.
It's ugly and it's cute looking, so I wear it out sometimes.
Chris Byrne is a toy consultant and historian known as the Toy Guy.
What is a Labubu doll?
Labubu are monsters. They're called little monsters. They were first introduced in about 2015.
Created by Chinese toy maker Pop Mart, the dolls were just another one of their tiny creations until last year, when it exploded into a fashion must-have, aided by K-pop star Lisa from the group Blackpink.
And it became a viral sensation without really any kind of promotion whatsoever.
Fans took care of that themselves.
What traits can make a toy go viral or sort of become a cultural moment?
I think that one of the biggest traits is that it has to leap out of the toy business.
Byrne says Labubu is now more of a fashion accessory, and they're hard to find. These Pop Mart machines were sold out. Limited availability intensifies the demand, a timeless trait. Remember Cabbage Patch Kids in the early 1980s?
How long have you been waiting? Since midnight.
People were fighting over them in the aisles of Kmart. That became a news story. So then suddenly it became something that the culture was talking about. But there's no rhyme or reason to it. Something catches the imagination of the public, and people are off and running with it.
Until the next hot toy comes along.
The Pop Mart has several locations here in the Bay Area. You can find their stores at the Stonestown Mall in Union Square. They're also in San Jose. They have stores in Stonebridge Mall in Pleasanton and Westfield Valley Fair in San Jose. Thanks for streaming CBS News Bay Area. I'm Ann Makovic. We're going to be right back with your First Alert forecast and another look at your top stories.